Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cozy Corner Chronicles. I'm Julia,
And I'm Liz.
and we are back with another chapter chats for Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. Liz, I just see,
Yeah, I'm like a shark.
you know, those like things at raves that people have, the little sprouts.
I'm a sprout. Oh my gosh. I wonder if my hair was like that all day.
No one's a real one if they didn't tell you,
I know. But I
but
don't know those people enough, so
10
maybe they
out of 10
didn't tell
still.
me.
Still looking 10 out of 10. But,
Okay, I'm Liz.
but yes, so we are back with another chapter chat for Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. Woot woot. So last time we finished off part 2, and now we are on to part 3.
Yes,
Yeah.
part 3 is called The New Low Baseline, and part 3 starts chapter 16, which is also called The Needs of the Two. So I'll just start off. And basically, they talk about Eugene's first physical outburst and how it was super scary, and it happened when he was 7, and Mia and John were turning 13. Sometimes I forget that they're twins, by the way. It's
I
just...
know, me too.
So Eugene had started waking up in the night screaming and jumping, and the twins were aware of the family tension as their birthday approached. So after overhearing that paying for a party or summer camp would be difficult for Hannah and Adam, the twins pretended that all they wanted for their birthday was unlimited computer time. Nevertheless, Adam and Hannah made elaborate birthday cakes, which Eugene then destroyed, prompting Mia to slap his hand away. And then later, after Eugene was taken to the hospital for a bowel obstruction made worse by sugar because he ate all the cake, Hannah apologized to the twins for having prioritized Eugene's needs over theirs.
Yes. I feel like, same. If it were my birthday, I'm asking for unlimited money, though, not computer
Oh yeah,
time.
for sure.
Yeah.
And also, I think that this was really interesting too, because we kind of see the dynamic between the parents and the twins.
Right.
Because I think a lot of the times they are portrayed as feeling really guilty in terms of Eugene versus the twins. And not because they love one more than the other or whatever the case may be, but the time dedication, I think, is what was
Yeah.
really driving them to feel guilty.
No, I agree. And I think there's not really a favorites in the situation, right? Like if you have somebody who needs more attention to, obviously do their daily activities for a living, then you're going to have to give them the attention. So yeah, I agree.
Right.
And then chapter 17 is called Logic Chains Gone Wrong. Eugene's hearing makes it clear that Detective Janice had seen the neighbors' videos of Adam and Eugene before meeting the rest of the family. Feeling betrayed, John and Mia burst into the hearing room, and Detective Janice suggests they also watch the video which shows Adam attempting to calm Eugene, who screams, squeezes his eyes shut repeatedly, and then claws his father in the face. In the video, Eugene is not smiling, and usually he's in a state of smiling. So when the video ends, the judge announces that Eugene will be held in secure placement until a hearing, and Hannah argues that he won't survive, and Shannon attempts a defense using the devastating words like clearly intellectually disabled, clearly incompetent, but the decision stands. So during this part, basically what's happening is the term secure placement basically means jail. So that's why they're freaking out, is because it's a nicer way of saying it, but it basically means that they're trying to detain Eugene, which, like we said in the last episode, is this all ethical? But I mean, I digress. So
Yeah.
Shannon is the lawyer that they went and found, and basically the whole thing about clearly intellectually disabled and clearly incompetent refers to the Virginia laws that Mia talks about, where people who are unable to speak for themselves and someone who's quote clearly incompetent basically should have special considerations to make sure that they don't go to jail. And that's basically what she's talking about. But it kind of sucks because I guess Mia, I get it. Mia isn't usually used to someone blatantly saying these things out loud. So I feel like it's kind of normal for her to feel this way, especially since everything is kind of just going haywire at this point.
Definitely, I agree with you. And then we get to chapter 18 called What Happened to Adam Parson. And so the family escorts Eugene, obviously, to the detention facility. And they, at this point, are very overjoyed to learn that there has been a COVID breakout. So he's going to be placed on house arrest instead of going into the facility. And I think, from what I remember, the facility was like it was juvenile, obviously, but it was very like, I don't know how to explain, like very
They like
normal-esque.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. They described it as like almost looking like an elementary school, I feel like.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in the conference room at the police station, Mia updates Hannah and Shannon on everything they haven't discussed yet, which also includes the blood from Eugene's nail and on the shirt that she washed. They also talked about the cancer diagnosis and the contents of the notebook. And then Shannon tells them that regardless of what happened to Adam, that they need to focus on proving that it was not Eugene. Otherwise, Eugene may face some manslaughter charges. So she shows them just like a huge list with no emotion and no judgment, and she's made every possible situation that could have happened to Adam. And so they plan to investigate all of these before the hearing that's in 2 days, basically to rule out what could or could not have happened.
Right. And I remember Mia's like, oh, the choice is like so clear. If basically it's a choice between, do we find her dad or do we like move on?
Yeah.
So part 3, I feel like that was all of part 3, and it wasn't the most eventful, but it definitely focused on, I think, moving forward with Eugene, because I don't know, we've been getting snippets of Eugene here and there and kind of how things are kind of weird, I guess. Like he's not acting normal per se, but we'll see where it goes in part 4.
Yes.
So part 4 is called The Myth of the Happy Nonverbal Babo. And I know that's a Korean term for like, what is it, like dummy or something? I can't remember what they said. I forgot what they said.
Now me saying, I was like, oh, grandma? No, that's Ajuma.
I think that was Harmony. Whatever.
Oh,
Same
wait.
difference.
What's Ajuma then?
I thought Ajuma was just like someone old. I don't know. We're not Korean guys, so we don't know what we're talking about. But someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the term. I don't know. We're not Korean, so please excuse if we say things wrong or don't know the meaning, but I think that's what it was. So, chapter 19, another family, another home. So, Hannah contacts doctors about Adam's possible cancer diagnosis, while Mia and John decide to drive in person to the offices of communication therapists and neuropsychologists. Basically, at this point, they're trying to like tick off a list of anyone who could try to do an eval, but this is during the COVID-19 pandemic. So like nobody responds, like they get one no. And then at this point, they're like, you know what, we're desperate. We need to go driving around in person. So to no one's shocker, during the COVID-19 pandemic, most of these places are closed. But when they arrive at one home office, Eugene runs from the car. Like literally he like opens the door and sprints. And then he goes to like a ceramic turtle and picks up a hidden key. And they're like,
hidden key.
Yeah, hidden. They're like, how did he know that was there, first of all? Second, what the fuck? So it opens the basement door and they follow Eugene into a room with a trampoline. In an office inside, there's a bulletin board and they find a photo of Adam and Eugene in like this yellow heart that's also on their fridge. Okay. Also on their fridge. That says, "We love you," and jelly in Adam's handwriting. Bitch.
The way my jaw was on the floor, I said,
Eugene, fucking hoe.
Where are you? And why does he know this? And like, it's the fact that Eugene is so comfortable.
Like too comfortable. Like wait, like it seems like Eugene at this point is more comfortable being in that house than his own house.
Yes, that's also what I felt too.
Me with the SpongeBob things, like you.
Me, I was like, so
have faith in you, Adam. We did not find out what happened to Adam.
Okay, so then we get to chapter 20. It's called SOLAR. And so they start, snooping around this little office, and John finds a bin that's labeled EP, which includes like a letterboard and a log of 8 months of like lessons that were literally just communication, basically. He was doing communication therapy. So I was like, what's going on here? So they logging into a patient portal where all the sessions were recorded, they watch Angeli ask Eugene a question about alternative energy sources, and he uses the board to answer literally right and made a joke about Mia. Like
Yeah.
this man is literally communicating on the board. So Mia acknowledges that they should have been elated or at least hopeful at Eugene's ability to communicate, but they feel like really devastated, and they were really sad because like one, no, they never knew that these sessions were going on, and quite honestly, I don't if Adam never told them, there would have been no way that they would have known because Adam stays home with Eugene all day and
Yeah.
everybody else is out of the house. So there was no possible way that anyone would have known. So in the video, I think the way it was explained, it seemed like Adam was like very interested in Angeli in a type of way. And like I felt like it could have gone either way. Like he could like she explained it more as like I pictured flirting,
Yeah.
but then it's like not. I don't know. Anyways, they were really sad when they saw because Adam and Angeli had a lot of like banter back and forth, and they thought like Eugene couldn't talk, but he was able to communicate this whole time, like whatever. So then Mia at this point realizes, oh well, if Eugene really can talk, why hasn't he tried to tell anybody about why or where his dad is?
Yeah, so that is the end of our summaries, but let's just be honest here. I feel like the book suddenly like picked up. Like
Right.
first two parts were like, oh, let's set the scene and things are, let's explain. But now all of a sudden it's like
And
shit's hitting the fan.
I feel like at this point it's starting to feel like a little rushed.
Yeah, I agree.
Because in the beginning, like when we were reading, okay, like we're building the world, we're learning the characters, like all this stuff. But for a long time, it was like, where's Adam? Where's Adam? Where's
Right.
Adam? And it was very slow until all of a sudden, like, oh, okay, now we're gonna go see if anyone can translate, or like not translate, but if someone can talk to Eugene. Oh, we're gonna stop here, and all of a sudden, like, boom, 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 just like you said, it's just developing so fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe at this point she felt like, okay, well, like this story's going nowhere, like I need to pick it up now, or if it was like I wonder what her thought process was during this.
Yeah, I agree. But also, like with Angeli and stuff, why did I think reading it for the other chapters, why did I think Angeli and them, like her house or whatever, was like in a whole different, like, couple towns away? I don't know. It seemed like whenever they pulled into her basement, I was like, oh, she's like only, like she's so close to them, like question mark?
Right. Okay. And then I think I also was confused because they said they were looking for therapists or whatever.
Yeah.
So what did they pull up to her house, or is her house the therapy place?
Yeah, her house is the therapy place. So
Oh.
they were like, oh, this is a home office. Like this, we have a chance because, someone's bound to be home during COVID. But I guess I also so another part of these chapters was that Shannon, the lawyer, also said that they actually found another hit on Adam's ATM stuff and that this place had video. So they kind of just glossed by that. They're like, oh, they're looking into the video. Anyways, let's talk about how Angeli and Adam had a thing.
Definitely. I feel like this story is like going like there's so many branches like going off at one time, and you're just like, wait, what?
But I mean, honestly though, I can kind of see why Angie took that direction, because I guess in mysteries and missing persons, that's like exactly how investigations go. So, I mean, good, but also I feel like I'm just having a little harder time following along and having as much enjoyment because I'm more like A to B, B to C. And so it's hard for me to like grasp every little thing that's happening and remembering every little thing.
No, I definitely agree with you, because I think when we got the introduction of Angeli in the first place, she was mentioned and then we stopped talking about her.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she gets brought back again in chapter 20. Like it's been 15 chapters since we've talked about her.
Right. And I don't know. I guess there was also like no hint, which I guess is good, and maybe this is strategic, right? That she had anything to do with like therapy. You know, we kind of assume maybe she's the doctor because of the prostate cancer, but then all of a sudden this basement that's like 10 minutes away. First of all, it's a basement. Anyways, second off, it's like you were close this whole time, and how did nobody ever see, you know, Adam and Angeli together? I mean, I
Right.
guess maybe that's why they're having sessions in the basement, but also it
Right.
brings the thing of who are your other clients? Like, do you even have other clients? Are you legit?
Right. Right. And then, it makes me think back to the text that they found between her and Adam that was like, you need to tell your family. Like, tell your family what? Like, that Eugene is getting therapy, or that y'all
Yeah,
are a thing and Eugene is getting therapy.
right. Or both,
Right.
because it's kind of messed up. I don't know. Adam's a little more sketchy every day,
Yeah.
but you
And then
know,
Angeli's missing too. Like, she's not
yes. Yeah,
there.
she's not there. She's not home. That's what they said. You know what I thought about though? I wonder if the story and the narrative would have been different if this was all told from John's point of view instead of Mia's, because Mia is very like frantic.
Mhm.
That's how she is. But I feel like if it had been told in John's perspective, like the twin, I wonder if things would be more like A to B and B to C, because John seems very,
Yeah, like
whereas
very,
Mia's
yeah.
like,
Yeah, I agree. But also, she's also trying to like figure out this happiness quotient thing at the same
right,
time that all this stuff is happening.
right,
So I feel like maybe that's also a part of why she's frantic, though, like, or like the story is being told the way it is,
right,
because she also has like a side quest going on. I feel like there's so many side quests, right? Like, one minute they're getting this video, or they're finding blogs, or they're finding out their dad has cancer. Like, there's just so many.
right. Like there's so many possibilities, and I feel like it's true to like a murder mystery, you know, with the missing person, because there's always going to be like 10 different things. But I
Yeah.
will say I'm not necessarily like interested in the happiness quotient, and I think it's just because I'm so confused on what is going on with that like subplot. You know what I mean?
Okay, me too. I didn't understand it because I think a couple episodes ago when we were talking, you're trying to figure out what exactly it was.
Right,
You're trying to measure the happiness of your family. You're trying to measure your own happiness. Like,
right,
are you not happy? Are they not happy? Like, what is it? And I
right,
feel like that part is taking so long that I'm just like,
right.
just
Like
choose,
I
just
right
be a
like
cheater. Just be a cheater at this point.
because yes, because like I'm not really understanding, like, because he's talking about equations here, like he's
Right.
full on talking equations, and I'm like, man, if we could calculate happiness based off of a fucking equation, well then all of us would be delighted. We would have it solved.
I'll
There
be
would be,
ecstatic.
yeah, like, so I guess I'm just having a hard time. But I will say that, I mean, if Angie Kim wrote this book to be intended like solving a true murder mystery or like a true missing persons case, then she's doing a fantastic job, because it leaves us, I feel like every time we do one of these episodes, we're left with more questions than answers, and then we're finding out bits and pieces, getting more confused, and ultimately I don't know. Every we end one of these chapter chats every time saying we don't know what to expect or how the story's going to end. I still feel like that, because especially with the happiness quotient.
And I feel like this whole thing is just one big what the fuck.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean that like that the book is bad or anything. I
Yeah.
think the book is like very
Me
interesting,
too.
but I've lost interest in a lot of the other subplots because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right.
And like, I think it's hard to like keep everything in track, if that makes sense. Because like, then there's also like the super side quest of Detective Janice just doing some stupid shit all the time,
Yes.
and like uncovering things and not sharing with the family. Like, why are you sketchy like that?
Yeah, and it just makes me think like she knows more than she intends to share, or maybe she was part of it. Like, I just do not trust anybody in this book. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even think I trust Mia at this point. I don't trust anybody. Like, I
Agreed.
mean, I don't know, but with that being
Yeah,
said, stay
I don't know.
tuned. Yeah, like stay tuned. We're just always confused, and I think that
Yeah,
it's fine, I
it's
guess.
fine. It's fine. If you guys know what's going on, please share with us because
Yeah.
we have no idea what the fuck is going.
Yeah, like, and I think it's just a matter of keeping track of things. But I mean, with that being said, though, we're gonna finish the book. It's a good book. I think we're enjoying it. It's just confusing for us. But we also have to do Kane's Jawbone, which is actually going to confuse us way more anyway. So, like, what's a little confusion, you know?
What's a little confusion? Because, it's going to prep us for the future.
Yeah. So, with that being said, thanks for tuning in on this episode of, I almost said Kane's Jawbone, of Happiness Falls. If you guys know what's going on, like we said, please comment, please text us if you know us personally, anything, because we love to talk anything book related. And I think this would be very useful. So
yes, please help us. Please help
Yes.
us.
help us so we can help you.
Help us so we can help you. Please.
But with that being said, thank you guys so much, and we will tune in next week. Have a good day, you guys. Bye.
Bye.